into this bias in X79. Alright guys, gonna be doing a speed duel market watch for this month. Alright, just so you guys know what cards you want to be investing in, mostly for your speed duel decks. Alright. So first and foremost, you can see Blue Dragon Summoner. Blue Dragon Summoner is out of the Destiny Masters Speed Duel starter decks. Came out earlier this year, but I can tell you right now, it's worth investing in multiple copies of this card. Basically, this card is sent from the field to the graveyard. You add one Dragon, Warrior, or Spellcaster normal monster from your deck to your hand. Such a huge, awesome search, and this pairs well with Wonder Wand, which was in the same set. Basically, equip this card to a Spellcaster monster. It gains 500 attack, and then if you control the monster and this card, you send both those cards to the graveyard to draw 2 cards. And since you're sending Blue Summon a Dragon to the graveyard, you're going to be getting that extra search on top of that, which just nets you so much more advantage. Definitely a card that I run in my Blue Eyes deck. I find myself running this in any deck that can really make use of normal warriors or even normal spellcasters as well. It's just so much worth it. Alright, trap cards from the starter decks. Kunai with Chain, something to look at. It changes a monster on your opponent's field into defense position. Alright, but it has to declare an attack. So, power boosts your monster too. So it's not that bad. I mean, Winston Dakota, this is the real money card from the starter decks. Something that you want to pick up multiples of because you're going to be using this in practically every speed duel deck you're going to see. Change the positions of all face-up monsters your opponent controls. Excuse me for that little interruption, but yeah, it's just worth it because it just allows you to force all your opponent's monsters into defense position. Alright, so those are the 4 cards out of the starter decks from the earlier this year. We are picking up another booster set as well as another set of starter decks coming out beginning of August. Right now, we know the starter decks are focusing primarily on Rex and Weevil, so we're going to get dinosaurs and insects, so you can probably guess what cards are going to be included just based on their anime duels. Whether or not we get some of the better dinosaur cards with Rex, I mean, that's the big question right there. Maybe some reprinted of some of the newer insect stuff that Weevil got. I think one of the legendary duelists from last year. I mean, that would be cool, but I'm not sure we're going to get that. So, moving on to the sets that we know that have come out. Arena of Lost Souls. Sphere Karibo is still the top card out of this set, holding on to its value. Lowest you can find it is $13.81. Highest is going to be costing you close to $16. Only hand trap and speed duel, so you can see the reason why it's so high. But it really soars when you put it into a ritual-based deck, and we only have one ritual monster that's relinquished. So it gets better in that deck because you get both effects now. Because now you can banish this card from your graveyard to utilize it as a tribute. All right. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Arcana Knight Joker. Both cards are maintaining their value. Blue Eyes I can see probably going down a little bit further since it's a very big cost and massive investment, and we don't really have as much monster recursion as I think a lot of players will want to really make use of this. I mean, dropping this card is great, 4,500. There's nothing out there that's really going to be able to beat it. In raw attack power, that's when you start seeing equips coming into play and things like that. But hey, if you can make it, great. Otherwise, in my opinion, I think just having a normal Blue Eyes deck without this card in it is just worth it. Arcana Knight Joker, Queen's Knight, Jack's Knight, and King's Knight were all in this Arena of Lost Soul set. And I can tell you right now, 1,300 attack points, very good. It's a warrior type effect, so you can actually equip it with things like Legendary Sword, or even the Dragon Soul Sword, or Dragon Soul Sword, or Dragon Soul, or something like that. You can power boost it even further, so makes for a very interesting card. It also gives you the negation ability to negate monster, spell, or trap effect by discarding the same card. So it's actually a pretty good card. In my opinion, it's the better of the 2 fusions. And it's a bit easier considering that you can the skill card that came in the set that supports Queenside Jackson and Kingside actually does allow you to get this guy out faster. Twister is something that I can definitely see. Probably might even go up in value a little bit. It might fluctuate a little bit. I mean, lowest is $3, but you can turn around and see upwards of $4 for this card. Pay 100 life points, target one spell and trap card on the field and destroy it. It's just a great quick play spell to knock out back row. It's worth it. The investment. Michizuri, another great trap card in this thing. Monster sent from the field to your graveyard, even during a damage step. Target one monster in the field, destroy it, which is just huge. Definitely pick up multiples of this, guys. Cola Haunted, this is something I can actually see probably dropping down in price. Not that many decks I've seen actually run this card, considering that in order to really play it, you have to start your duel playing one less card in your hand. Personally, I think that's perfectly balanced for this card, and I wish that the field spells that were also as skills would have actually had this as well. All right, speaking of that, we have two of the Pharaoh. This has gone down in price. Cards treated always Necro Valley, and all Great Creeper monsters gain 200 attack and defense. It's basically a nerfed version of Necro Valley. We don't get the whole negate ability of stopping monsters from being moved from the graveyard. I mean, wouldn't really matter. I mean, we don't have that many monster recursion effects in Speed Duels right now. So, all right, one card that it has been going on an upper curve is King of the Skull Servants. I mean, the deck is actually pretty damn awesome, and I can actually see this card going up. So if you've got a playset of the card, and if you even play the deck, please, it's a great card to have. I mean, if you want to see the deck profile for King of the Skull Servants, check out my channel. It's the premiere video on my channel for the month. So, guys, check it out. Sends you the 1,000 hands. This guy actually there's a bit of an uptick in its price from last month, primarily because we saw relinquished decks getting a little bit more play. All right, so that's it for the Arena of Lost Souls. The second set was Attack from the Deep, and Leviathan Dragon Daedalus is holding on to its value. I mean, very hard, and not just because of the Ultra. It's basically a field nuke. And this card could actually go upwards of $20 a pop. So I would definitely invest in this card as soon as possible. This is something that probably will go further up, especially if Water or Tribute decks take off in Speed Duels. All right, Sonic Bird. This card kind of fell down from the $8 low range. I mean, you can still find places that charge $8 for it. It's just that low end is going to be $6.60. I mean, it's just great in relinquished decks all over. Magician of Faith, $5. Being the low, come down here, you can see probably around $5.50 on the high, which is not bad. I mean, being a flip effect that can recur spell cards back from your graveyard is just awesome. Play Knight, you can see the reason why this card is seeing play. I mean, if you don't have that many cards in hand, boom, 2,000 tap points for level 4 monsters, pretty good. Could beat out a lot of different things, even without boosting its attack with equipped and stuff like that. Really not that many flip effects in Speed Duels right now. Probably that might change when we get Weevil's starter deck. I'm pretty sure a lot of the insect monsters do have flip effects that he runs. So the Forceful Checkpoint, another awesome trap card. This one I can see probably going up, primarily because this card allows you to look at your opponent's hand and gain information about what they have in their hand. So it's just huge. Viral Infection, one of my favorite trap cards from, skill cards from the Attack from the Deep. It just helps out grave-dependent decks a lot more, especially in King of the Skull Servants. You can just rip your opponent's deck apart while filling your grave up and just be able to get that King of the Skull Servants on the field with massive attacks. All right, World Screen Fisherman holding on to its value because it's an Ultra. I mean, it does allow you to recur War or Tribute monsters from the graveyard, so it does have that good ability. I know that the catch of the day might be just a little bit better because it's kind of like a metaverse effect, and then it allows you to basically search, but you need to have the Legendary Fisherman on the field and has to destroy a monster. So there are a lot of restrictions to that as well. So Warlord Tribute decks do have 2 good skill cards, so that's actually pretty cool. It's my lucky day. This is one of the most generic skill cards I've seen. I've seen this being teched in as for side decking. Primarily because it allows you to control what you would roll on a dice or flip for a coin. You just pay 1,000 line points and you decide what you're going to roll and what you're going to flip. Really useful when utilizing stuff like Typhoon or even Time Wizard's effect. Plus Tornado, $5. I can tell you this right now, this card is definitely going to remain high in price. Spell and Trapper will hate, especially one that can get you that replace itself is going to be pretty good. Zombina, I can tell you right now, this is a card I would definitely invest in right now. Zombina, especially for Speedos, Zombina allows you to basically search your deck, target level 4 or lower graveyard monster in your graveyard, except for Zombina, and special summon it. So it allows you to recur monsters back from your graveyard onto the field, and it can just fit into any deck as a tech card. So this is something that I definitely would encourage you to buy out if you can get. Yami Ship is another cool card. Let's see, what is that? Okay, card destroyed by battle. Instead, the graveyard destroyed a monster to destroy this card. I mean, it's just a great 1-for-1 card, and just keeps your opponents on the back by losing their monsters, so they can't really turn around and tribute off them for bigger monsters. All right, guys. So this right here are the cards you should be looking at investing in. Really, Speed Duel's still gaining ground. I mean, we're getting more support, which is just awesome. New Star decks, new booster set coming out in August. I can tell you right now, the booster set box is pretty cheap, $35 a box. Something worth looking at. You get, I think the star decks are going to be two star deck 30, and they're going to be 30 cards each, which is actually pretty cool. So we get it to see what they're gonna give us for Weevil and Rex. Hopefully, somewhere down the line, we're gonna get more information about the Scars of Battle set. If they're gonna introduce another character into that set, I mean that's been a typical thing, but I think we might not get that since we have Weevil and Rex in the star deck. So, could be interesting. All right, guys. As always, check out the description box below. Find an invite link to my Discord server. Join a conversation. We'd love to have you. Follow me on Twitter. Post my videos there. Find Yu-Gi-Oh memes. I usually post them up on my Twitter page. Get a good laugh. And guys, if you want to help me push my channel to greater heights and help improve the content I'm making, please consider backing me on Patreon. The money goes to help me buy new equipment so I can create that better content for you. All right? And guys, until next time, peace.